Nancy Mace asked about, what are you doing? Because, you're all about domestic terrorism. Well, what are you doing about Antifa? Well, Antifa is just a movement, they say, even though they admit that members of Antifa have been caught in shootings and arson and all kinds of rioting, but they say, oh, it's just a movement. We don't target Antifa. The FBI admits they don't track violence of radical left Antifa. Okay. So I'm just asking, I think it's, who was responsible for $2 billion in property damage a year ago, last summer? Was it not Antifa? Who was it then? Will they answer that question? No. And they won't investigate either, because that's their side. It's mostly peaceful. It's righteous and just. When the left does it, it's all good. Doesn't matter how many people die. It's all good. How many people die from the vaccine? Doesn't matter. They want to force you to take it. But what is the FBI doing that they can't monitor actual domestic terror threats in this country? As Tom Elliott points out, this will be at least the fourth time the Biden administration's Department of Homeland Security has predicted white supremacists are planning violent attacks. They're saying there's going to be a white supremacist attack ahead of the Tulsa anniversary, the Black Wall Street event from decades ago. And they're saying, oh, white supremacists are coming back. By the way, you'll notice most people never heard about Black Wall Street until last year when they made a big thing of it. And they said that, oh, it was Trump signaling going to Tulsa for a rally, signaling he's a white supremacist. I mean, just, they lie about everything. And so that got all the BLM protesters fired up, the lies of the mainstream media. Of course, there was no white supremacist event that day. There was back when Tulsa happened, and it was Democrats. See, they don't want to get into that, though. Oh, yeah, Democrats burned Black Wall Street to the ground. Yeah, that was Democrats. They used to be called KKK, now they're called Democrats. They stood in front of schoolroom doors and school facility doors to stop black people from entering. That was the Democrat Party. They wrote the Jim Crow laws. That was the Democrat Party. We could go on and on, but so they built up Tulsa and Black Wall Street for the first time. Mainstream media did last year, because I guess they figure, it's been long enough since the Democrats burned Tulsa to the ground, so we'll just go ahead and talk about it now. But here's their misses, reported by Tom Elliott from April 8th, 2021. White supremacists and extremists may use Chauvin trial to further their agendas, according to the DHS. They may start a race war. Yep, that was a lie. From January 27th, 2021, DHS issues its first national terrorism bulletin for domestic terrorists and says that a white supremacist event is inevitable. No, that didn't happen. And then April 23rd, 2020, DHS, FBI send warning that groups discuss plans for another Capitol attack soon. No, that didn't happen. And then remember, they had that whole security theater at that event that was down in D.C. a couple weeks ago, and nothing happened. In fact, actually, there was one arrest made. It was of an FBI agent with a gun. Oh, wow, I didn't know. I'm not sure what movie this is from, but there's a film showing the Democrats destroying Black Wall Street. Had no idea. Yeah, the Democrats, Democrats are well known for keeping the black man down. And if they can't kill him in the womb, they'll destroy you after you're born, too. So, it goes on here from Tom Elliott, but I need to move on. But here's the group that doesn't exist. Antifa artist group defaces Memphis billboards with anti-cop messages right next to where one officer just got murdered. Yeah, there was another dead cop the other day at a mass shooting. He ran into a mass shooting. He got killed. No big praise for him. No statues for him. He's nothing. But I will say, that is a tough job to go out and put a full vinyl over a billboard like that. That is a no-joke job. So I'm wondering if there wasn't a professional involved in that, which would surprise me that anybody in that industry would be involved with Antifa. But that is no easy feat to put a full vinyl up on a billboard like that. That is a serious endeavor. Not cheap either. But no, the cops that get murdered, they don't get heroes welcome. They don't get their names mentioned in the mainstream media. But George Floyd does. Yes, the guy that died from COVID, you may recall. George Floyd statue in Manhattan's Union Square Park defaced with paint. Oh! And, of course, this is going to be investigated as a hate crime because it's George Floyd, see? And by the way, John Lewis, who I'm no big fan of John Lewis, but John Lewis actually was a civil rights activist, and John Lewis was not a criminal growing up when he fought for civil rights. And so they put up a bust of John Lewis in Union Square in New York, but then they also put up Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, who at this point are essentially just fictional characters. I mean, George Floyd was a real man, and he died that day, and Breonna Taylor was a real person who died that day too, but the characters that they're being promoted as are fictional. George Floyd, a gentle giant, he held a pregnant mother at gunpoint. But I digress. It's not about George Floyd. It's about the lying media is what it's really about. Let's see. We got into the supply chain halting. By the way, there's a story there at Infowars.com. The supply chain halts exclusive report. And see, it gets more into it, folks, but it's basic. This should be a basic understanding, though. And to the left, I guess they don't get it. They're too stupid, or they just don't care because they don't want to have kids. And that's what it is. All these new measures for climate or COVID is just going to destroy the economy. It's going to destroy the free market. You're going to be priced out of driving. You're going to be priced out of flying. You're going to be priced out of eating. And you're just going to end up sitting in a pod, basically clinging to life with whatever scraps the government lets fall onto your plate. Oilers forward Josh Archibald out indefinitely with myocarditis, a heart problem, vaccine side effect. Now they're just admitting it's killing people. Oilers forward Josh Archibald out indefinitely with myocarditis, a heart problem, vaccine side effect. Now they're just admitting it's killing people. Sheriff's Office attributes California teen's death to second Pfizer jab. A 15-year-old dead after coronary artery inflation from the COVID vaccine. Dead from the Pfizer vaccine. Washington woman in late 30s dies from Johnson & Johnson vaccine blood clotting. Another Washington woman, Jessica Berg, 37-year-old, healthy, died from vaccine-induced thrombocytopenia. Can't even pronounce that. My son is dead. He took the vaccine. They're killing us, says a pastor from Trinidad.
The average person on the face of this incredible planet is still unaware. There's a war between free individuals and nation states on one side and the globalists on the other, who are literally trying to create a post-human world. From the United States to Brazil, and of course triggered by the Brexit in the UK, nations were pulling out of the private corporate fascist world government. That's why they launched their Great Reset and their program after collapsing us of Build Back Better. This is nothing more than a top-down, vertical consolidation of the world economy. And because they couldn't take our guns, because we wouldn't bow, because the left, which is the ideology of this world government system, couldn't win, they released a biological weapon on us. Now we know, 2 years ago, we learned about it about 20 months ago. It's that simple. They can't beat us because of our free speech and our guns. So the global corporate combine released COVID-19, and you know the rest is history. Expose this paradigm, and we win.
This just proves it's not about health. It's not about safety. It's all about control. Where virtual students now have to take the vaccine. Virtual. Never even go on campus. Never even in a classroom. And they're told if they don't take the vaccine, they'll be dropped from their virtual courses with no refund. Here it is, caught on a live phone call. Good job recording this by Christian Walker.
Dropping students after they've already paid for classes if they don't upload their vaccination status.
This didn't happen while my center conducts the COVID vaccination, and we keep track of your records.
And you're calling to tell me you will drop my classes after we've already paid $70,000 for the year if I don't upload something about my vaccine status when all my classes are online. That's what the call's about? Got it. Thank you.
So, again, never on campus, not in the classrooms, still forced to take the experimental vaccine that they admit is now killing people. So let me get into that stack of news here. Now, again, and I'll just go ahead and tell you, Project Veritas still has more coming from inside the vaccine manufacturers. So don't worry, there's more. And you might say, well, what else could they possibly say that could be more damning than what they've already said? Answer that question in your own head, and you might be surprised that that's the answer that you're going to get in due time. But so, I mean, what all do we have Project Veritas breaking? Inside the hospitals, they say that the vaccine is BS. FDA saying they want to treat the unvaccinated like the Nazis treated the Jews. I mean, now you have Pfizer scientists saying that your antibodies, natural immunity is better than the vaccine. They say that the whole thing is all about money now. We upload all of this stuff to Band.video. We'll upload this one too. So what, I mean, seriously, what more could you have from inside big pharmaceutical companies? What more could you have them saying that could be more damning than what they've already said? Well, you might find out, ladies and gentlemen. So again, though, it's nice to see. Yeah, I'm going to upload that video too, guys. In fact, well, we'll cover that, but there's a